WWE and Endeavor are set to merge mid to late September. It is now in the news. People are now talking about the merger finally being completed. That's when we will get the real party started. The party started late last night for Triple H, as Triple H, Paul Levesque, was left conveniently off of the board of directors, a position he held within the company since 2015. Supposedly, Triple H will now be focusing on WWE creative, and that is all that his job will entail, as WWE is set to have 5 board of directors, with Endeavor's 6, and Triple H not being one of the 5 for WWE. You could sit there and claim that I'm some conspiracy theorist, or sit there and claim that I have a hate boner for Vince McMahon. To me, it's a red flag. To me, it is a major red flag. And fine, they're going to streamline their business side and let Triple H run WWE and let Dana White run the UFC. You know, to the idiots out there, that's the way that it is to be perceived. Not to me. Because we all know that Triple H isn't running jack shit. Plain and simple. Let me get it down to you. This is from the beginning here. As you guys know, in April, WWE sold to Endeavor. It was not about the sale of the company. It was all about what Vince McMahon and his fucking fucked up mentality thinks is best for Vince McMahon, not the shareholders, not the company, not the talent. What's best for Vince McMahon? It was never about a sale of the company, ever. Gonna say it until I'm blue in the face. So they're merged. WWE and UFC under the same umbrella. They're both running as separate entities, with Vince McMahon running the wrestling side of things and Triple H running the WWE creative. Deadline noted that Endeavor Group Holdings has taken a hit from the writer's strike, the Hollywood strike, but their overall results are ahead of Wall Street expectations. The Endeavor merger could also open the door for some cross-promotion marketing within the WWE and UFC kind of butting heads, and more doors opening with WWE within Hollywood for the company and its talent. McMahon has temporarily stepped away from his CEO duties after major spinal surgery. His return is unknown. McMahon was also recently served with a search warrant and a federal subpoena. For what? We don't know. I'm assuming it has to do something with the sale of the company. Right now, no charges have been filed with Vince McMahon and that search warrant and subpoena. Now, the news came last night that Triple H was not going to be a part of the board of directors, a position that he held since 2015. Endeavor is selecting 6 of the new board members, while WWE is selecting the other 5. The following names and their ages were confirmed in the filing today for Endeavor's board of directors. WWE's chairman will be Vince McMahon, age 77. WWE CEO Nick Khan will serve as well, age 48. Atlanta Hawks State Farm Arena CEO Steve Koonin, who has been on the board, I believe, for a while with Vince, 66 years old. And EKO, Echo Chief Media Officer and Executive Chairperson Nancy R. Tellem, 70 years old. Endeavor will have Ari Emanuel, 62. President Mark Shapiro, 53. Silver Lake CEO Egon P. Durban, 49 years old. New England Patriots and Kraft Group President Jonathan A. Kraft, 59 years old. Reach Resilience President and CEO Sonia E. Medina, 47. And Open Door Technologies CEO Carrie Wheeler, age 51. The remaining board member will be selected by WWE, but there's no word yet on who that will be. It's interesting to note that WWE did not include Paul Levesque, Triple H, who I said was serving as a board member since 2015. It's reported by multiple sources that Triple H will continue his current role with the company, but his spot on the board of directors remains up in the air. Now, I want to point out the obvious. Dana White, who's basically Triple H for UFC. He's running the company, he's booking the shows, he's doing what he's got to do. He's the hype man, he's the public figure on air, in the interviews, on the podcasts, in person. He's the guy. Dana White is not on the board of directors. I don't know if Dana White was ever on the board of directors for UFC, for Endeavor. I have no idea. I don't know anything about Endeavor. I don't know anything about UFC. It's not my forte. It's not my niche on WWE. If someone can fill me in on that, I'd love to know. Triple H, I do know, was on the board of directors since 2015, and now he is no longer there. Fine. WWE is streamlining. Endeavor is streamlining what they need to do and getting their pieces in place so that the sale of the company goes off without a problem. They want people in place. They want people within their positions. And then they're going to round out the board of directors, which is going to total 11. Now, a lot of people were telling me that, well, WWE wants a little bit more business acumen for the fifth and final member of their board of directors. That's fine and all, but WWE had Triple H on a board that included 10 or 11 people after Vince McMahon basically cut the board of directors down to basically nothing because he wanted ultimate power within the company. Remember, people were fired. People were brought back to replace those that were fired previously under Vince McMahon, just so that he could sway the vote in his favor. People quit. I mean, this is what happened. This is the reality of the situation within the WWE. They were down to basically nothing. I mean, his own daughter quit the company. Stephanie McMahon quit the board of directors and left her spot up and open. So Triple H was still there. Triple H was still a part of the board of directors. There was about 10 or 11 board of directors for WWE, with him being one of them. I don't understand how you don't have Triple H on the board of directors when he's been the beacon of light for WWE. He's basically the guy that has everything fall on his lap. He knows WWE inside out. He knows the metrics. He knows what needs to happen on TV. He knows attendance figures. Him and Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon were doing bigger business than what Vince McMahon was doing in his later years for WWE. Things have been transformed greatly under the new leadership without Vince McMahon. So why would you leave someone like that off on the WWE side of things when this man knows basically everything there is to know and has given his life to this entire company? He knows every aspect of the company, yet you're leaving him off. Now, I'm not sitting here creating a sob story for Triple H. He's set to make about $5 million plus with the sale of the company. I'm sure he'll be well off. I'm sure he's very pleased with that. But you don't find that to be a red flag within the WWE? I know I do. The way that I look at it is Triple H, who previously served since 2015, no longer on there. I look at it as that's exactly what they think of Triple H. Not good enough. We don't want you. Vince hand shows all these people. Vince doesn't trust his son-in-law. Vince doesn't want Triple H knowing anything about company business because that's exactly what they think of Triple H. He's basically lucky to be in the position that he's in. He's lucky to still be here. Triple H is there because Vince McMahon says so. Who says I need to give you a seat at the table? That's exactly what these people think. Vince McMahon hand chose these people. There's a reason why Vince McMahon did not choose anyone in his family. Triple H is the only one left. The only remaining member of his family that's still fucking working there. His daughter quit. His son was fired. Goes with the narrative that Vince doesn't want anything to do with his family as he sells the company to people who had nothing to do with the family business in the first place. I'm not lying to you. I'm just calling it like I see it. I'm not. This is exactly what they think of Triple H. And for all the people out there that tell me, oh, well, WWE is streamlining things. WWE wants somebody with a little bit more business acumen. Triple H doesn't really fit into that criteria. He's going to focus on WWE creative. While Vince McMahon runs the business side, Triple H runs the creative side. They don't want the worlds clashing. You fucking serious? Vince McMahon's running the business side of things now, and he's running creative at the same fucking time. Give me a break. They want to streamline positions. You want to think that WWE is streamlining positions. Meanwhile, Vince McMahon's doing his thing. Triple H is doing his thing. That's the way it should be. That's the way they didn't choose. That's the reason why they didn't choose Triple H for the board of directors. Meanwhile, you're going to get Vince McMahon run the business side of things, and you're going to continue to get worse than ever when the sale is complete because he can't poke his head out of the ground yet like a fucking gopher. He can't come up yet until the sale is made. That's when basically he has his safe space. So for all the people telling me, oh yeah, Triple H is going to solely focus on creative, and that's the reason why he can't be on the board of directors, well, the same thing could be said for Vince McMahon, because we all fucking know he's going to be the chairman of the board on the WWE side of things, and he's going to be running WWE creative. Why does he get to do both? But Triple H can't get to do his board seat as well. I find that to be a major red flag. I do. Call me a conspiracy theorist. I mean, this company has had it out for Triple H since the fucking day of NXT getting started. And it only got worse as NXT grew in popularity, and then they killed it, and then they brought him back, and now Triple H still doesn't even have final say in anything that happens. It all goes through Vince. It all goes through Vince. Vince gets the final say on literally everything that makes it to television. I don't know, man. I just find it's a very bizarre thing. It is very bizarre how you don't choose somebody like that. I mean, he's got people there. I don't know what these people do. I don't know how up they are on the WWE product or what their business side and the aspects of what they know on the business side mean to the WWE board of directors. But I mean, if you're looking for one, you're looking for one. You got someone right there who knows better than anybody about the company compared to who you're going to bring in. Vince only wants to line the board up on his side with as much leeway to him as possible. All these people have previously worked or have known Vince McMahon. Triple H, not good enough. He's family. I don't trust my family. Goodbye. I don't know, man. I just find that to be a very bizarre situation. I do. Now, it may be nothing. It may be nothing. We'll see. I expect major change to come to the WWE. Once this deal is merged, I expect things to be popping off, man. I expect the party unlike any other. I think there'll be firings, terminations. I think there'll be roster cuts galore. I think people are going to have dock and pay. I think the wrestlers are going to get less when contract time comes up. I mean, I expect the worst here. I'm expecting the worst. I don't trust Endeavor. I don't trust Vince. I don't. This is going to be bad. I don't know, man. I told you from day one, it's not about a sale of the company. It's not. And we're going to find out what that truly means come mid-September when this deal closes. Other news and notes here, man. I got two major stories here. Number one, we'll start with RVD. Backstage reaction to RVD and his in-ring debut on Wednesday's Dynamite. He wrestled Jack Perry. Very good match on Wednesday night. RVD still looks good. He moved good. He gave us all his signature spots. It's like he didn't miss a step. Obviously, he's in his 50s, but he could still do those things and do them very well. Now, he spoke with AEW Online, AEW Digital Media, for an exclusive for their YouTube. RVD commented on the match and said this, and I quote, "Well, it felt pretty damn awesome going in there tonight. I count on the fans' positive energy that they bring. I rely on connecting with them, so I'm still overwhelmed when they all have RVD signs and they're all in unison chanting for me. It always exceeds my expectations. When that moment is real and I'm connected to them, it's nothing but love. Love is the most powerful energy in the universe," end quote. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select reported that those that Fightful spoke to backstage at the show said that they were happy with RVD's performance in the match with Jack Perry. Now, this doesn't mean that he's going to be all elite. I would assume that Tony Khan is going to offer him some sort of contract potentially. But the thing is, WWE brought this man in to the WWE draft, and they used him thinking that he was retired. So they brought him in. He was on both nights of the draft. They didn't think anything of it. Meanwhile, you don't think WWE's watching RVD on Wednesday nights? Looking at RVD still go at somewhat of a high level on Dynamite at 52 years old? You don't think they're looking at that saying, well, can't we get some more mileage out of him? Let's get him over here. We don't want him over there. He's a part of our team. You don't think WWE is looking at that show thinking, let's sign RVD to a contract, 6 months to a year. Let's get him on TV. Let's pair him with Matt Riddle. We'll have them as a tag team, whatever the case may be. Something stupid like that. You know WWE watched that show, and you know WWE is already thinking well ahead to give RVD a spot on television, knowing that he could still go when previously they probably thought he was retired. Good for him. Good for him. It was a good match. It did what it needed to do. Keeps him off the All In show, which is the main reason why I didn't want him on the All In show, because I do think that the All In credo should be for everybody that worked there for the last 4 years, not RVD, not an outsider. But I do get that Tony Khan needs a casual audience, because right now he's more focused on selling pay-per-view buys, and a name like RVD on the pay-per-view is probably going to generate some pay-per-view buys. I get it. But to me, I think an RVD spot on the show being taken up by RVD should go to somebody like a younger talent that's been there, working his ass off 52 weeks a year to get on TV and mold the company into what it is today, not somebody like RVD who's been there for one day. That was my point. But good for him. I'm a major RVD guy. RVD was part of my childhood. But I'm just spitting the facts at you. You don't think WWE watched that match with Jack Perry on Wednesday, already fucking writing up a contract for him? If RVD shows up in WWE in the next 6 months, you know what happened. And Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is getting closer to getting cleared, returning to the WWE. The question is, how many of you are going to care when that time comes? That number's dwindled down to basically nothing. Fightful's learned that Bray Wyatt is finally getting closer to clearance after 6 months without it. Wyatt has battled an illness that they will not disclose. I was tipped off on what it was. I will not let you guys know either about what it is. And the company and Wyatt have been taking extra precautions to make sure that his long-term health is accounted for. But that is where it ends, man. Now we got some positive news. As of late, we've confirmed, says Fightful, that Wyatt isn't actively cleared, but those we've spoken to claim that he's getting closer and that there have been some creative ideas presented. One source indicated that some ideas were even mentioned for September. However, that won't mean anything if he doesn't get that clearance. There were ideas for Wyatt to be integrated with Alexa Bliss, Eric Young, Uncle Howdy / Bo Dallas. However, after Bray Wyatt was sidelined, Alexa had maternity leave, and Eric Young requested and was granted his release. There was no reason to come up with creative ideas to bring Bray Wyatt back. Might as well keep him out, get him back to full health, and worry about his health first and foremost. Since publishing this article, Fightful did update that the illness Bray was battling was both career and life-threatening, but that is now improved significantly, and his health is on the mend. Good. That's all that we should worry about as fans. I do think that the creative aspect of it has also kept him off TV. Well, let's be real. If WWE wanted to clear him, they would have cleared him. And the obvious illness and the injury and whatever kept him out clearly is the front runner here for why he was off TV. But WWE isn't really clamoring to get creative for him. I mean, they got Alexa, maternity leave. Eric Young, I mean, this guy asked for his fucking request release in April. Or was granted it in April. He requested it before that. And then Uncle Howdy Bo Dallas. I mean, what does that have to do with WWE creative? They're not going to give Bo Dallas creative. Whatever Bo Dallas creative is Bray Wyatt's creative. When Bray Wyatt comes back, that's when he has a job. Bo Dallas. They're not clamoring to come up with creative for Bray Wyatt. Otherwise, they would have. They're not itching to get him back on TV, quickly. Otherwise, they would have. Now they're focusing on September. What's going to happen in September? What are we doing? Where's he going? Who's he feuding with? Does it matter? Do you care? Bray Wyatt has created such a niche for himself on TV where it just doesn't It doesn't really flow well with WWE creative. You've created this aura about Bray Wyatt where he can't lose. This is why I don't want none of the hokey pokey fucking bullshit to come back to television. Get him back to TV. Give us the reason why he was out. Humanize Bray Wyatt a little bit. Get him back in there. Get us the Swamp Man Wyatt thing going. And just call it a day. We don't need any fucking demon. We don't need any fucking fiend or any Uncle Howdy or whoever the fuck they were bringing back from the Wyatt universe. We don't need none of this shit. Honestly. I said it once, I'll say it again. Wyatt works when he's humanized. Wyatt was best when he first came back and gave us that human Wyatt. The first promo, the first and second promo we cut, that was the best Wyatt. Ever since that, downhill. LA Knight was more popular in his feud with Bray Wyatt than Bray Wyatt was because the fans saw where it was going. And no, Bobby Lashley was not the fucking plan for WrestleMania for Bray Wyatt. We didn't watch all this shit since October to end with Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. Give me a fucking break with that bullshit. Honestly. So whatever he was going through clearly is the reason why he's out. But if you don't think creative is a part of the fucking reason on why he's not back, I don't know what to tell you, man. I really don't know what to tell you. Seriously. WWE could clear him at any given time since WrestleMania. They didn't. They're just using this as a possible excuse. This is one of the reasons why I'm so hesitant on believing anything. I mean, they could have cleared him. I'm not saying that he wasn't ill, but you don't think WWE purposely keeps these guys out for this extended amount of time? Did they ever care about Bray Wyatt to begin with? They care about his health. But do they care about him creatively? No, they don't. They could have brought him back at any given point, give him creative for anything, and they have not. And I don't think they are. And whatever they end up giving him, what are they going to do? They're going to have a long, arduous uphill battle to get this guy back in the good graces of the fans because with him being out again for this long, that trust in Bray Wyatt and whatever he's selling is definitely not going to be the same when he comes back. It's going to be very interesting on what they do with him. He's out for health reasons, fine. But if you don't think it's not creatively related as well, and the reason why he's not back is because of creative as well, I mean, give me a break. Everybody wants a sob story. We want him to be okay. But if they want creative for him, they would have written him back into the TV show and would have already gotten the ball started, the ball rolling. But with this shit that we're hearing, Alexa, Eric Young, Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, what ideas are they? What ideas are they? Those aren't ideas. That is just last-ditch effort. Thank you guys very much for all of your support. Let me know what you think down below of all the stories in today's video. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a comment. Hit that thumbs up. 1,000 likes minimum. Go check out all the other videos on the channel. Plenty of it to catch up on. And I will be live tonight right here on the channel with SmackDown. As soon as it goes off the air with the SmackDown post show right here on Off the Script. Have a great Friday, guys, and I will see you right back here on OTS for SmackDown Live after SmackDown tonight on OTS. See you guys later.